welcome to another episode of Asia Unscripted. I really can't believe I'm doing another one of these videos, but another expat who used to live here in the Philippines has passed away. I would say one of the more important expats that was living here in the Philippines. Those of you who have lived or visited Dumaguete before COVID, in the several years before COVID, might know what was first called One Love Cafe, and then the name had to change, so it became the True Love Cafe, and then eventually the restaurant that this gentleman owned became Jamrock. The gentleman that owned this restaurant was Orville Henry, and I'm sad to report that Orville passed away within the last day or so. So this comes 3 weeks after another friend of mine passed away, and another expat that was living here, coincidentally, in Dumaguete also. So you're probably thinking, who cares? Why is this guy so special? I'll tell you. Orville, he really loved the Philippines. He was kind of sad to see the situation that many people live in the Philippines. So what he did, he started a feeding program down there in Negros Oriental. So on his days off, with profit that he got from Jamrock and from donations also from other expats, on his day off, he would go to these schools. Around Negros, and he would feed them lunch. He would cook food at his restaurant, and it's similar food to what is on the menu. And then him and some volunteers would take the food to these mostly elementary schools. I think they were all elementary schools, because he always believed that young kids shouldn't go hungry. So he would bring food to the school, him and his team of volunteers, hand out the food, and they just had a good time. And Orville also, he also had help, I believe, building kitchens at some of these schools. And then I believe he also built some bathrooms and CRs. Because, these schools in the province, they're pretty bare. They're pretty basic. I mean, some of these schools, you're lucky if there's running water, if there's electricity. I mean, the schools he helped out were, the poorest of the poor schools. So all his time in Dumaguete, on his days off, he was always recruiting volunteers to go up with him. And he did that for quite a while. And then the food that he had at the restaurant was awesome. I mean, he realized that Filipino food's not very good. So, he knows, he recognized that. So he wanted to serve food that was healthy. He never served white rice because, basically he thought it was junk. And he encouraged the rest of us not to eat white rice. And at his restaurant, whenever you ordered an entree, jerk chicken, he gave you as a kind of a free appetizer. his curry soup, which was awesome. The best vegetable curry soup I've ever had in my life. And I don't think there'll be any other soup that will match that. And it came with the soup, it came with some cornbread, and it came free with every entree that you ordered. So there was times when I was living in Dumaguete, I was literally going to his restaurant almost daily, because his food was unlike, anything else that was available here. Anyways, towards 2018, 2019, he started having health problems. He had cancer, and with COVID and problems with the tax department, the Philippines government, blah blah blah, he gave up the restaurant and he went back home. His parents were also sick at that time, so he just gave it all up. He gave Jamrock to this asshole that pretty much didn't keep it running. Well, he kept it running for a little while, but basically Jamrock's no more. So Orville went home. He had cancer, so he was trying to deal with it naturally. And then his mother passed away, then his father passed away, all in the last year. And then finally, he passed away. So, no, he didn't get no vaccine, so don't even go there. But yeah, this man, a lot of the expats that come to the Philippines, you guys, aren't the cream of the crop, let's just say. There's a lot of pieces of crap out there that come here, they scam people, they tell bullshit stories that they're Navy SEAL, they used to be Navy SEALs, and when you come out to the Philippines or another country, you can be whoever you want to be. People really aren't going to question it much, especially the locals. So if you tell them you used to be a SEAL, well, they're going to believe you. But Orville wasn't like that. He spent his life as a chef. He cooked for people in London. So he's been to the U.S. He's been all around the world, and he decided on the Philippines to settle down in. And he did that for several years. If it wasn't for COVID, if it wasn't for his cancer, his restaurant would still be thriving. He would still be helping out the children. Some people in Dumaguete are still helping the children. They're carrying on his legacy. So I've seen videos from people like Bud Brown in Dumaguete still helping out people, still helping out those kids with food, with sandals, with whatever he can afford and whatever people donate to him. So that's going to be Orville's lasting legacy, expats doing good in the community for the locals here, because they need it. So I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about Orville. His name was Orville Henry. He was Jamaican. I don't know if I mentioned that. He was Jamaican, and his food was awesome. He always had a positive frame of mind, even when things were down for him. He always had positive thoughts. That's the way he chose to live. You can learn a little bit more about Orville. R.I.P, his Life Beyond the Sea channel. He's got a video from the first time he went to the Jamrock. Well, at that time it was One Love Cafe, where he met Orville for the first time. There's also a video that a few vloggers have out there, including R.I.P, I believe, when he had his grand opening of Jamrock in the larger space near Silliman College, or University, sorry. If you guys look at that video, you'll probably see me in there. A rare YouTube appearance. Anyways, just wanted to tell you a little bit about Orville and how he has affected me and how he has affected the lives of many Filipinos. And this is kind of like my eulogy, I guess, because I can't go to Jamaica to attend his services. So I just want to say, Orville, rest in peace. You won't be forgotten, and thank you for all you did. Anyways, for Asia Unscripted, this is Jason. I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care, and if you're here in the Philippines or Thailand or wherever, try to do some good for the locals. Let's do it in Orville's honor. Take care.